order for you to make more money and work, you need to work more hours. But with investments, the more money you throw in and the longer you let it grow, the more money you make at the end. So investment is just...
It's very interesting.
It's a science, you know. It's
quite good. You know, some investors like to go to the stock exchange, but personally, I come from that school of thought which says that, you know, investing in stocks in the stock exchange for me is just absolutely nonsense. I don't invest in the stock exchange. You know what I'm saying? Because according to my personal view, you know, that's just one big gambling house, right? On the stock exchange, you can make so much money so quick, and then you can lose so much money so quick. But then, because it's based so much on speculation, the speculation is so high. It's inherently risky. Look, so many people lose so many fortunes on the stock exchanges across the world. Doesn't matter. And so many people make so much money on the stock exchange, like literally fortunes, right? So. And you know, you've got all these brokers whose job is to make you broke, right? That's why they call them brokers.
Yeah.
That's not why they call them brokers, actually. A broker actually, brokering is actually, you know, to create a relationship, actually. Broker. So that with simple English, it sounds like someone's gonna make you broke. But
yeah, it does. It does that that meaning or that I don't know. That's a
facilitator action. The broker is a facilitator action. The word broker means to facilitate action, to facilitate the transaction, right? To basically help you to create a relationship between you and the company which is selling the stock, between the buyer and the seller. So, but anyway, apart from that, now. As far as I'm concerned, the stock exchange is just one big gambling house. I've seen how unpredictable it is, and you know how speculations can go wrong.
Oh wow! Sorry, I just
okay. We're just checking it out.
Yeah.
I'm charging data,
no, I have 10 megabytes. Just to say a minute or two.
It's probably gone by now. 10 megabytes. So.
I know this is nice.
If you had a the BlackBerry data bundle, BIS has been
that doesn't work. BIS doesn't stream video.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't. You can only download that. I remember.
Hi. Oh, I think it's done. Sorry.
Things is down.
Sure, Vincent.
Yeah.
What's up, Vincent?
Nothing much.
Yeah. So then I don't invest in stocks. There are some businessmen believe in investing in stocks, and you have tools like CFDs, cash for difference contracts. So they're called CFDs. That they were traded big time before the 2008 recession, right? CFDs were one of the most prominent tools on the stock exchange that actually caused, you know, a major part of the recession. And many people don't know that. CFDs, trading those instruments called CFDs. I remember before 2008,
I've never heard of
we attended a presentation held by Standard Bank at Premier Hotel where they were teaching us about CFDs. Basically, many companies had platforms online where you can trade CFDs, and Standard Bank had their own. Then they were selling it to us, like, you know, guys, join the CFDs, the latest way of making money. People are making money. Just get on the CFD, you know, CFD platform. You can trade live online, JSE. You know, you can put 10% of your money down and then you get 100% worth of of stock to trade. And I was like, wow. You know, it was like the coolest way to invest in the stock exchange. Right? I mean, if you have 10 rands, you can invest $100 on a stock exchange. It's like they call it gearing up. They gear up your investment, your money. You know. So if you have $1,000, you can actually invest 10,000 on a stock exchange. Only if you want to invest 10,000 on a stock exchange to buy any stock that you believe is gonna make money in the next 2 months or whatever, just put $1,000 in. You deposit $1,000 in your account. It reflects $10,000. Then you go on the stock exchange to buy anything you want. If you got $1 million, you know, they gear it up. You got 10 million. You can buy.
So is this a conversion that takes place, or it's just them predicting?
No. It's an instrument. It's a trading instrument that was created. Whereby what they say to you is this: they say to you, whatever money that you have, you get it up 10 times, and then you can invest in whatever stock that you want. But there was a catch to it. The catch is that if you invest $1,000, then you via CFD, cash for difference, you gear it up to 10,000, then you invest it via CFD, right? If those stocks of yours that you invested in, if they go down, if you lose money, guess what?
You have to pay the difference.
Yes, you have to pay that. So which means that you have to pay 9,000.
Yeah.
Whatever that you were geared up for, you are liable for that entire amount.
Shit.
If you put in $1 million, you invest 10 million in the stocks, you lose 10 million, you are liable for 10 million.
Oh, no. The risk there is too much.
So people were jumping on that. Pumping across the world. Even Stan Bank was doing that. I remember they gave us this disc. They give you the disc that teaches you how to trade CFDs online. They give you the whole platform. You log in, you transfer money from your Standard Bank account, put in there, you bet. It's betting basically. It's betting. That's what I'm saying. That now I hate the stock exchange.
So someone wins and someone loses.
Yeah.
Straight. That's how they. So this is how they profit from all of this.
But then, check it out. Think about it logically. That means that how were they planning to make money? Actually, these guys.
That's what I'm also thinking.
With the losses.
Yeah, with the losses as well.
Exactly. They were expecting to make money, the public losing money on the stock exchange. They're not expecting, or you're actually going to make anything. Some people did make money.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If
this one wins.
If you score, let's say if you put $1 million, you invest 10 million, you score on that 10 million. That means you literally have 10 million plus in your account. Exactly.
But where does it come from?
From a whole, it's gambling.
Yeah.
I remember when we go to Caesar's Palace to gamble, all of us slots machines, whatever, casino, whatever. It's the majority who lose, who fund the few winners.
Exactly, yeah.
Then the rest goes to the casino. And then the winnings that the winners take are maybe even 30-40% of total take in.
Yeah.
The rest goes to the casino.
40% is winnings.
It relies on losing. It relies on the losers. The public went. People went. Businesses, people were excited. Whoa, man, I could really do that. Yeah. But if you lose, well, you're gonna have to pay the rest. It's cool. Because of that thing, you're so sure that if you invest in Old Mutual, you're gonna make money. That kind of thing. But stock stars, Old Mutual, they go up and they come down. Every year, every time.
Every day.
Yeah.
So you have to look at that like, if you bet wrong, boom, they got you. They take money from your account, and you can't run away from it. You literally owe the stock exchange that money. So the recession was partly because of that. That was one of the instruments that caused the recession, because everybody was onto it. Now, when Wall Street, the Federal Reserve Bank was asked about these CFDs. Or guys, these CFDs, people are losing too much money on these CFDs, and they're part of the problem because people are losing their houses, losing their what was because they've lost a lot of money on the stock exchange because of CFDs. I mean, if they knock you, if you put 100,000, then they say you owe them $1 million after losing, dude. They're coming after your house, your car. They're coming after that. You know, it's not like you're gonna just escape and say, guys, I'll pay you later. No. They're coming for you. You're naughty boy, eh?
No.
You're getting you're multiplying your money 10 times.
It's like remember the buzz that MTN created, this investment thing of theirs, where the public can buy shares into this MTN's new project.
I think I remember that.
From when it was 10 rand per share or something, 0. something share. And people bought. A lot of people went and bought. A lot of people. And because I was also interested, and there was time I was also hyped up by it. I mean, it's they didn't.
What hyped you about it?
The fact that they told you, in 4 years' time you're gonna get your money, your investment bag and triple that. You're gonna be making money. And I'm looking at that time I wasn't really,
And also because it made you feel like a big guy.
Yeah, you're like,
now you play
shares
the game of the
MTN.
of shares, isn't it?
When you realize it, I think 4 years has passed since MTN did that, and the people that bought all those shares are still not benefiting. Nothing. There's nothing into it. Like, it just went quiet. It's no longer on TV. It's no longer on news. Like, no one is talking about it.
It's there, and people have put their 10 rands, 20 rands, 50 rands, 1,000 rands. All that money has been hoarded by MTN, and the rest can go to hell. Because ultimately, how much money do you expect to make out of $1,000 on the stock exchange? You play, you get
nothing.
What do you think you're doing with 1,000 rands on the stock exchange? That's a joke. And people are tricked into these foolish things. No, man, with $1,000 you can start investing on something. But even if you wait 10 years, how much money do you think you're going to make on $1,000?
Yeah, exactly.
People spend.
I know. People
That's
do
less
40,000.
It's not like it was the DSTV one, it was MTN, it was
Escom one as
all
well.
of those, all of these. There are many big ones that they've done. Even the old mutual, you can name them. There are many of them, the big ones that have been advertised nationally. There was another one called Putuma something.
Yeah.
You heard about that? Putuma shares. Yeah. Which company was that? But those kind of situations, and then you. But now I figured out this scam, Yeti shares. I think when I was introduced to, is it IFA? Yeah, it was IFA. Yeah. No, it was not IFA. It was this other company. But IFA doesn't do shares as well. No, it doesn't do shares.
No, it's insurance, and then it's that.
Then it's pyramids.
Mama gets
Yeah.
that percentage.
Yeah. But there's this other company, native based Kusani Park. They were selling shares. I thought, if you guys have ever seen that, they were based at Sunny Park. Then they were selling. You go on there, they put you on this diet, 30 shares. You have to pay some 300 rands per month out of your account, and then you buy shares. And then in the beginning we were excited about it. But then there was a time when I was really thinking about it. I thought, but this somehow doesn't make sense. It's like investing peanuts, right? It's like Barako Microsoft. You buy 5 shares. Yeah, you go to Coca-Cola, like one share at Microsoft maybe like $50, I don't know, $100, I don't know. Let's pretend it's $50 one share. I don't know, maybe more, maybe less. Ne? $50. Say 3, say 4. Like, it's like if you convert $50 into rand, it's how much is that? It's around
480.
Yeah, 500. The negative.
Minus, 400 and something, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, over 500 and something, go back or something, 500 and something, Coca-Cola. You just go peanuts everywhere. Right? And then, at the end of the day, those shares are not with the regular zone. They're going to only earn peanuts. All of them.
Yeah, true.
Then when they all come back, they come back with peanuts. You understand? So basically, my argument was that. Yeah, that too.
I mean, you have to wait
that too.
4 or 5 years before earning.
Exactly.
That too.
Another 10 to see something, you know.
And it's still subject to speculation. The Microsoft shares go up and they go down.
Mm.
So
BlackBerry.
you're a pro person. So which means that you will only invest the maximum of 500 rands per month. So 500 rands per month stretched over a year. You'll only be able to invest in 12 companies, peanuts in 12 companies. So over a year, you take that 500 multiply, it's 5,000 plus. Let's say 6,000, it's 6,000. 6,000 bucks. 6,000 bucks is not money. You can't invest on the stock exchange if you expect to make money. You see what I'm saying? Then which means that for the next 5 years, you're gonna have 6,000, 6,666, right? That is 6 times 5. It's how much? 30,000. In 5 years, dude, you're not making anything. In 5 years, you'll just be happy thinking, wow, I've got shares in so many companies.
Yeah, but the thing is, all these things, the prices rise. By the time you get to those 5 inflation, petrol probably 13 rand a liter, 15 rand.
So what have you done? All we've done was transfer all your money to these big companies, and they've taken your money, they've used it. Because ultimately, that's what the game is about. That company, all they're doing is they're harvesting money on behalf of those companies. Because that company said to us, we only invest in stocks that we believe are going to be successful. In other words, the partner, yes, and they said, we're going to get money for you guys. Because there's no way these people are going to make any money. No ways. And then I said, no, I'm not going to join that company. But then also, I learned a very important lesson now for, dude, if you're going to invest peanuts, you're only going to get peanuts. A poor person has no business in buying shares. Okay, a poor person for me, it's anyone who earns less than $1 million per annum. In fact, it's not even about earning, in fact. It's about how much you can actually put down.
Yeah.
Let's forget about how much you can
forget about salaries.
Let's say, if you can't put a good 500 grand to $1 million at a time to invest in anything, then please, leave shares alone. It doesn't matter what shares, it doesn't matter whether it's government shares, it doesn't matter what they claim to you that they're selling. There's no way you're going to win in that game. It's a zero-sum game. So now I left. Since those days, yeah,
it's a waste of time.
The amount of turnaround time before you can harvest anything is ridiculously long. By the time you try to harvest anything, the stocks will have gone up and down so many times. It'll be like you gave them your money, basically. Mm-hmm. Because you must remember that the game on the stock exchange works like this. You invest now, you wait. Immediately when the stocks go up, you harvest your money. Yeah. You bounce. With peanuts, you know you can't move your 5 shares. You can't sell your 5 shares when it's time to sell. I mean, who are you going to sell them to? And how much is it going to cost to sell them on top of that? To sell them is going to most probably chow the transaction itself. The transaction itself is going to chow the money that you made.
But you say they're buying 5 shares, and companies usually issue about 100,000 shares. So up to million.
Yeah. 100,000 is too small.
I know.
I'm just.
Yeah, and then it's average. Just
if they're issuing a million shares and you buying 5.
Why are they wasting their time with you?
Yeah.
Even the dividends from that, it's not even 0.0001% of their shareholding.
But how serious do they take you as well?
No, you don't even have real voting power.
You don't have nothing. You just give them money.
Do you remember how the hype around Facebook when you joined when it got to the stock exchange? right?
Yeah.
Remember on the opening night, it opened up with the shares were going for 28.
Wasn't it 38?
No, 28.
They were very high.
$28 per share, and then in the next 2 hours, it actually, I think, doubled.
Okay, I'm not sure.
So
I think
what happened?
What's your point there?
My point is, like, you know, Facebook made a whole lot of money with people, and I doubt that most of these people are going to see.
No. This is what happened in Facebook. What happened in Facebook is Facebook's initial IPO was good. It went back.
Initial public offering.
Yeah, it went
2
up
weeks
and
later.
then it went down.
2 weeks
And went
later,
down
it
and
was drastically down.
It's only coming back now, like, and slowly but surely. It's only picking up now. And slowly
I
but surely.
remember when they said it picked up some time, and they were so happy. Like, when was that? I said some 1 month or 2 months back. I remember it was a big story.
It was
They said,
towards
now.
an announcement that they were gonna make, and there was speculation. With, they speculated that Facebook would present Facebook Forward. Yeah, it was, speculations and announcements, it all builds value. And yeah, so it was towards that speculation. So with Facebook, there's something up with it, there's something wrong with it, because now for such a brand, for such a service, its share price is not where it should be. That's the biggest struggle Mark has right now with all the money that they have. The problem is that the share price just is there. It's 22, it was at 16. It dropped. It came from, at one point it was on 38 initially. It came, there was Facebook, there was LinkedIn. Shortly after or before, there was that LinkedIn first.
Competition.
Yeah.
I remember LinkedIn also.
LinkedIn is on 100 and something. LinkedIn is the highest and it's steady. It goes down, up and down, but then it's still up there. And it has like 200 million users. And you've got a billion users, you make way more money, but now the shareholders here rake a whole lot more than you do. Mark sold, I don't know,
the thing is,
his net worth dropped to 14.
From 18.
Yeah, and when I checked some few months back, he was on 20.1, and now he's on 14 now. You see, it's
14 what, billion?
Yeah, net worth, 14 billion US dollars. You see,
based on the stocks that he holds in Facebook.
Yeah.
Based on these guys made a lot.
The share
made a lot
price.
of money when they sold the personal shares as well.
Yeah, they make. I mean, they make a lot. Mark sold. I don't know how much he sold. A lot.
I know that lady, that specific lady.
The operations officer
got like 700 million from just.
Yeah, she's the rock. We know of Mark, but she's the
one who's holding it.
Yeah, she's the rock. She's the rock.
Was one of the ways? Well, it depends. One of the ways that you see whether a company has any future or not is when when people sell stock and when they retain. So if the big guys sell a lot of their stock, there's problems.
True.
you start running.
They're pulling.
They're pulling out.
They're losing that faith in the company.
Yeah, they're pulling out. They're trying to cash in and get out.
Yeah.
If when people want to cash in and get out, then it's a problem. Not to invest there.
Mark,
you want to go there.
Mark also sold a lot as well.
That's what I'm saying.
But then it depends on how much he retains and how much he sells. Because sometimes people sell stock in order to raise some cash to do some other things. But you have to look at how much they actually sell. If they sell too much, like up to half and more than half of what they were holding, this person is getting out. But then if they sell some 5-10% and they still make some couple of 100 million, well, they're still good. But then they still retain most of their stock. You know that they're not running away from this business.
I was saying that Facebook. I think a lot of people had bought because the public went and bought. People were very hyped up when Facebook announced that they're going public.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, Facebook is the only. Let me use it in third person. The only person that actually is benefiting. Facebook has made so much money that they can invest into anything they want.
They can do anything.
Anything. They've made too much money. In just 1 week only, they made a lot of money. You know.
Yeah,
It's
and,
like-
then, and then there's always that first initial offering
Yeah.
of theirs where the share is at its highest and people buy that day. They buy, they spend, and then they make a lot. And then what happens? And this thing is done. Yeah, I think someone controls this and someone makes this happen. I mean, you sell your shares for the share price is $28, and then a week later it's on 18. That means Facebook made a whole lot of money. And
Facebook made a whole lot. Facebook as a company,
it has never been to that point ever since.
Yeah.
So
Facebook as a company,
did they know
made
that?
too much money, right? Because too much hype was built about. They knew that the public was going to buy it. It was like,
But it's important to hype up the public before you do your IPO. You have to hype it up. You need to hire PR agents. You have to get into the media. You have to make people feel that, you know what, when the first shares are made public, I want a piece of, you want the public to get hungry about it.
Yeah, you want to.
It's part of the game. Remember the reason why we do initial public offerings, or the reason why we list on stock exchanges in the first place is to raise money for the company. Like it's a fundraising affair.
Yeah.
It's a fundraising affair like nobody's business. So you need to play all your cards properly before you actually offer the shares and say, look, 5 million shares going at so much. Then you're raking the money. Then if you see that the buying is slowing down, then you can lower down the price. Or speculators, in fact, most of the time, they're the ones who influence you to lower the price. Then the price starts going down. Then people are ready to say, nah, this is too expensive. Then the price goes down, price goes down. And then when people rush more, you increase the price of value. The more they want it,
demand.
the more they demand it, the higher the price. That's the funny thing about stock exchanges. They work opposite to the general laws of commerce, where you say the more something goes, the cheaper you should get.
Yeah, actually.
But actually, with the stock exchange, you know, the more people want something, the higher the price goes. That's the funny thing about it. The higher the demand.
So and what the turnaround when you actually start getting 4 years.
The thing is, people sometimes they don't understand also how this share thing works. People think that you're gonna buy shares, you're gonna sit them there and you're gonna forget about them. But the truth is that that's not how the game works. The game doesn't work like that. The game works like this: you buy shares, immediately when they go up, you sell, you make a profit.
And
You buy some
from ones that are going down.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
so,
the low
so
ones.
you buy when they go up,
Yeah.
and you buy when they go down, and you
sell
sell when they go up.
Yeah, it's like a minute by minute game. So many people, the public generally thinks that I can only shares. I have a share certificate, put it under the mattress. But actually, doesn't.
The company and be able to see that, okay, no, this
That is
company,
gonna go- yeah.
it's still
Exactly.
gonna rise. It's still,
Yeah.
Companies will do initial public offerings, and then you think, okay, this company, the chances are that, look, because you have to study the company. You have to study the company. That's what Warren Buffett do. Warren Buffett does, every day. Study the company, study the management, study the product. Is it gonna make it? Does he think it's gonna make it? If he thinks it's gonna make it, he buys some shares.
But no.
Yeah, he's more of your. But then remember, he buys into the company now, big time.
Yeah,
he buys
a large
controlling.
chunk.
Yeah, when he comes buys, he buys. He doesn't buy 10,000 shares. No,
10,000 over.
He buys like what?
If he buys
5 million shares.
percentage, he doesn't buy shares.
percentage.
Oh, he buys percentage of the company, studying of the company. You see what I'm saying? So. It's complicated. I mean, how the whole game plays, because there are many other dynamics that come into play. Then there's the speculations on the product,
The
which
market.
countries,
Yeah.
the market, the how far is the recession now? What could be the future stumbling blocks of that company? So then you have to predict. Then as a broker, you look and you say, this one in the beginning it will go up. After the first year, it should go down. Then I'm going to time it. And then once they've worked out some kinks, they're most probably going to get some investment. Then I'll check it again. So for now, I'm going to invest in it. But I expect to sell later than wait for the. They come up with all these crazy, complicated that's partly how speculation plays into the whole game.
Basically, if you want to have all these shares, you need someone to manage all these things and to be doing.
That's the thing. And doing the study.
Yeah, studying everything and
studying the monitoring. And then the speculation actually comes from brokers.
You said you wouldn't advise someone to invest in stock, the stock exchange and all of that. What about property? I mean, we've got a company we've got the company like City Property. We've got individuals that buy flats, houses, land. We've got all these little crazy stuff. And once upon it last year, I tweeted and I said, I really want to get into property development and property as a whole. Yeah. And some girl from UJ responded and said, "Oh, then I guess you're going to be broke in future."
Okay.
And I'm like,
why?
Why would you say it? I mean, there's more people. It's not like the population is decreasing. It's like there's more people that need accommodation, that need places to shop, that all these things. So ever since then, not that I've been demoralized. I mean, not that I ever cared what she said, but then I've been thinking about. I can't really dismiss, but I've been on that. Okay, let's try and find the negatives of property investment and all of that. And I'm yet to see that unless a market or a country is going through a period where people are reluctant to actually buy bonds or to flats, you'd rather probably rent or something. I'm not sure. What's your take on that?
Yeah, look, in terms of investing in property, what we know so far about property is that it depends on what kind of property you're investing in, first of all. And then, at the same time, it's one of the most reliable ways of storing wealth. That's the thing about property. It's one of the most reliable ways of storing wealth. It's more storage than
money making.
But also depending on what kind of property. Like, let's say, for example, if you talk about commercial property is more profitable than residential property. You know what I'm saying? And also depending on the level at which you are, because if you're a guy like City Property, you need to have a lot of residential properties to make your buck. If you don't have enough of those, and for somebody to start off, or you're starting now, imagine how much you would need. You literally need to buy some 5 blocks of flats for you to become profitable.
Yeah.
You need 5 blocks, then they are well, maintained.
Yeah.
Renovation and everything, and they are full to capacity, and then they are working. Then you are in the business of residential property, because otherwise, then you're going to be living from hand to mouth. It's not going to be. The problem with residential with property is that it's time bound. You literally have to wait for the end of the month before you get money in. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, it's not 24 hours like that.
Well, not a problem, but actually a weakness. Yeah. Investing in property, you literally your money, it's time bound, whether you like it or not. You can't force to sell more product faster.
I mean, if you've got 20 apartments, you can only make money off those 20 apartments as well, until you get the next block or whatever.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. I mean, if you own one block of flats, let's say you own this entire. Right, and then you're renting out, just like City Property, then you're renting out each and every unit. Now, for you to buy the next block of flats, it's going to take you literally quite some time, right? Because of the cost of buying a block and having it in running condition, it's ridiculous. If you check how many companies have gone broke and they couldn't take care of their blocks of flats. There are many. How many dilapidated flats have you seen? In Joburg, there are so many. And you're like, don't people pay rent? They're always full.
Yeah.
Those people pay rent, man. Like, the flat is not maintained. because issues of overcrowding come into play, where the building is overused, and the money that you're supposed to be cashing in on, you're using it for renovations. Issues like that. The lift is always broken.
That's why city
many
property has got, you can't have more than 5 people in an apartment.
Yeah,
You can't
and
have
they
less.
police that.
Yeah. They make sure we can't be offering too many tags to these people, and it's very strict.
And who visit, like people who are visiting you, they monitor
Exactly.
that.
And they monitor the IDs, sleep over. You can't have more than 2 people sleeping over.
Exactly.
It's hectic.
Because they've learned to master those kind of dynamics of the use. As people open the door to get in and out of the flat, that's actually a cost. Funny thing, that's a very serious cost. As they open, every time they press an elevator button, that's a cost. So you can't have too many people pressing going up and down.
Yeah, plus visitors as well.
Whereas the building is supposed to be carrying so many people, but it's almost got double the people using its facilities, but it's only accommodating, one half of that. Then it's like it's a big problem.
Yeah, smart.
They mastered it.
Yeah, they mastered it.
So what I'm saying is that I think that for you to get into the property business successfully, you need investment. You need good money to start, and you have to be very aggressive. And you may not make, if you depending on how aggressive you are. If you are very aggressive, you might not make money for a good 5-10 years. Not making money, like literally just piling on properties but not making money. Literally 10 years it can go. And then if you decide to stop being aggressive by the 10th year, then all the money is going to come rushing towards you, because then you're not acquiring new properties.
Yeah.
Now you're just sitting in money. And every month this money just falls in and you're not doing anything. You're just spending it because you've suffered for 10 years with nothing.
Yeah.
So it depends on how aggressive you are. If you are less aggressive, then what's going to happen to you is that, let's say you are medium-sized aggressive, you're gonna be living your life, buying your cars. Your wealth is not gonna go higher. You're gonna be buying your houses.
So it comes in,
you spend it.
But when you're aggressive, it comes in, you invest. It comes in, you invest.
If you're aggressive, you invest all of it, and you literally live like a poor man for 10 years. It's already properties, So I don't like it for that. I think I'd rather make money somewhere else and invest in property. But I don't want to be sitting on properties as my main source of money. You understand?
Oh, it's something you probably wanna do like 4th or 5th, like later on. Because if you're looking at investing, let's say in companies, investing in startups, for instance, investing in stock, for instance, then you'd rather have property, number 4 in the list of all the things.
Yeah, because that's what I get at. In my personal opinion, investing in property is for storage of wealth. It's where you store your money. It's not where you want to make your money.
Oh.
Because then you end up being like Donald Trump. Broke 1,000 times. In debt. His debt the last time, which was like around 2009 day, it was around 13 billion. That guy. His debt in
He was been bankrupt a couple of times.
Yeah, look, he tries to manage his debt, But what I'm saying is that I was shocked to find out that Donald Trump is 13 billion in debt in 2009, 2010. Yeah, 2010 day. 2009, 2010, I think, somewhere around there. Why? Because he's been so aggressive, right? Aggressive. Every time he wants to build a new building, and the amount of debt that goes with that.
Yeah, because you need to contract,
You need to service the gas,
renovate,
exactly.
Electricity.
And it must meet his standards too.
Exactly. Every single detail there.
So imagine how many people Donald Trump owes today. He owes everybody. He owes banks, contractors, electricians, furniture guys. He owes everyone, man. He owes everyone. Everyone is just around him like that. And they're all relying on tenants.
Well, they say he's worth what, 2.9 billion here.
Yeah, that's how much he's worth. That's his money.
How much Donald
Thing
Trump
is with
But he's dead.
No, I understand it. I mean, but with a person, such a man, you wouldn't expect 2.9 billion with the amount of business and money and everything he's been doing, he's done. How many years has he been in this business?
That's the thing about
He's
property.
he's been.
That's what I hate about property.
When you were still a boy, when you were still, you could see, and he was still Donald Trump. His first marriage, when they knew him as the Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And still, 2.9 billion.
Exactly. Imagine.
No.
It's been forever.
Nah, it doesn't.
And check how many buildings he owns.
That, you see, that's exactly what I'm thinking of now. I'm like, okay,
Casinos. Buildings.
How?
Casinos.
He's got buildings worth, I'm sure, millions.
Yeah. Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
And he is worth 2.9 billion. Shouldn't he be worth like 10 billion, 15 billion?
Remember, he in New York City, Donald Trump has invested in an entire block.
Yeah.
Remember, he owns an entire block.
Entire block, yeah.
Who owns it? And only big buildings, not. We're not talking about small buildings. Big buildings only, an entire block,
And the thing
which has its own postal code.
Yeah.
That they have to give it. That's how huge it is. And a New York block, man. I'm not talking about the South African.
Yeah.
And the thing about a New York block is an average apartment, I mean, the cheapest is about $3.8 million.
Dollars, yeah.
Yeah, just for
Yeah.
one unit, one apartment.
That's just in New York.
And that's
Yeah, that's in New York.
So Donald Trump's name in
Yeah.
New York and you get an apartment there must probably be double it. Wow, more.
No, well, I mean, like, basically he's selling the name along with his property.
Yeah.
The name attached to the property is just as important, isn't it? The brand.
Yeah.
Because his brand is critical to the success. And that's part of how banks invest in him and other investors invest in him to say, we will give you 5 million in debt to do whatever. You see what I'm saying? Because then the banks believe in the name. And they believe that the name will sell the buildings because then people will want to stay in the buildings. Many celebrities have stayed in Trump's.
In Trump Towers.
Yeah. So that's part of the attraction. That's part of the importance of attracting the people to use his property. So,
but the figure's still disappointing. He has shows the apprentice.
He's got all these
things and
here's the thing, it feels like he's working hard, not smart.
No, he is. He's working hard. And part of the reason why he works hard is because he's really not making money, because he's an aggressive investor in property, and most of his money is tied up in property. That he needs that extra money, and that 2 billion that he has, he feels that it's small. He knows it's small because with 2 billion, imagine you've got airplanes, you've got
exactly, and it goes back to the time spent in all of this. I mean, okay,
life is expensive in itself.
So much time spent. I'm sure it's 20 years now.
Yeah, it's been
I'm sure.
years.
How are you?
It should be.
Yeah, it should be.
20 years.
Yeah.
Around there.
So, and it's got 2.9 billion. And then you've got we can't compare property in social media, but you've got a guy's been there for 5 years and he's worth 14 billion?
Yeah.
And at one point it was worth 21 billion. Yes, that's
but that comes. You see, now you see the example that I'm trying to actually show you. The reason why my position is the way it is, to say that property, I was told a long time ago that property is, as an investment, is something to store your money in. Once you've made your money, you store it there. You don't go there and say that, well, you can't do that. There are people Pam Golding, they do that, but Pam Golding is still old and her kids, and they're still working hard today. And that's part of one of the things that I don't like about property, because I look at her and her sons, they're busting their balls every day, and Pam Golding is one of those property companies that you like, whoa, these guys are big, they're incredible, but they're busting their balls every day. And
let's find out.
And if you say that, okay, fine, you are an investor, you don't want to work, like Robert Kiyosaki will be very angry with you. He'll tell you, you're working too hard for money. One time you let money work for you and you let people work for you. So look at Donald Trump. He's still hustling hard every day.
And he's old. He should be.
He hustles hard.
You know, Hugh Hefner, man. He
Building
should
golf
be chilling.
courses, doing this. He's hustling. He's riding up and down. Look, whenever he does the apprentice, he says he's hiring a new CEO to do work for him. But he's still kind of like bustles, busts his balls every day too much. It becomes kind of like strange in that sense, that. But I don't like property for that reason.
You don't sleep in the beginning because you're putting in all these hours, and when you're supposed to be close to retirement, you're still not sleeping because you
You're
still
still not
have to
sleeping.
put in the hours.
He's still not sleeping. And then if Donald Trump is not sleeping, and remember why Donald Trump is not sleeping. Remember the reason. He's got 13 billion in debt,
13.
and he's only worth 2 billion. So if he stops working, he's
He's
broke.
in trouble. Yeah, he's
Because
bankrupt.
there's no way 2 billion can cancel out 13 billion.
He is worth, and this is net worth. Meaning,
Yeah.
if he sells these things, he can't cover.
He can't cover it. And he can't sell Trump Towers. It doesn't belong to him.
What does it belong to?
It doesn't belong to him. Remember, he still owns it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He's still owns
yeah.
13 billion.
It's still
Every building, every golf course, everything that he does is done on debt. Well, Robert Kiyosaki would say that is smart debt because all his debts are actually making money. He doesn't make debt which doesn't
Just
make money.
doesn't.
That's one thing that I guess we can say is a good thing about him. All his debts are, making money actually, all of them. But then it means that Donald Trump is stuck. Him and his family are stuck in this thing for a very long time. His kids have to work, and you must remember that he's still building more.
His daughter took over as vice president.
Is it?
Ivana.
Oh, okay.
Get confused
Yeah,
between the wife
Yeah.
and the daughter.
No, I think I'll be content with property investment as a storage facility.
It is.
Not as
Trust me.
a place to just initially make money.
No.
Nah.
You want look at Rushabangu. Rushabangu made his money in what? In King. He was supplying commodities. He was supplying grain and what? Then I can't remember how this guy made his money, but I think it was like that. It wasn't grain. Yeah. And then he took his money and he started investing it in property, right? So he rose very fast, he was worth millions in a very short time. Before you knew it, he owned big buildings, like even that building that was in the news that the police wanted to rent. You remember that building?
Which one in town?
Yeah,
I see. But Andres.
Yeah, that building, and that building apparently he was going to get it on debt, on credit, if he got the contract from the police.
Yeah.
And so it was not his building. It's not his building even today.
It's crazy.
He's just holding on to it for a contract. It's in his hands because he said that he can get a contract for that building. If he gets a contract for that building, then he can get the loan to buy that building. Then it actually belongs to him.
And then everybody pays him, and then he just pays off the loan, and he just
It's basically the style of Donald Trump. I can get this building full. Give me money to build it. I build it, then I can fill it up. Then I'll pay you your money. Then I'm cool. That's basically the system. So, Pam Goldie and Lebanon have been in this business for years, dog.
Oh yeah, I've got it here. How much is she worth?
Yo,
Net worth 600. Wait. $94 million US. Gosh.
94 million.
Yeah.
you see, it's disappointing after
Even
so many
West is
years.
worth more.
After so many years, that family has been working for years.
Yeah.
637 million rands.
Rents.
Yeah.
See, I mean, look how disappointing that is.
Yes.
And how long she's been. Look how much they own.
No. It's okay. Wait. Let me just find it. 1976. It was founded with no startup capital and the sales assistant. Okay, fine.
1996.
1970.
76.
1976.
Yeah.
No.
They worth how much? 94 million.
And she's worth.
She's worth 94 million.
Yeah.
And she is the one.
That's sad.
2010. That
$94 million.
That a turnover of 11 billion rand though in 2010.
Yeah, but you know, all the debts and all the stuff.
Yeah,
And
deduction
they still have to live. They still, the kids still need
payments,
stuff.
salaries, and all these things.
That was not a problem. That was not a problem if they didn't have to be so hands-on. Now my problem with this hands-on nonsense. Even after all this time, you got $94 million in your bank, but you're still so hands-on. It's not even funny. That's the part that drives me crazy because then I feel you'll never retire. She's old now. Her son is the CEO. He's running the daily business.
Yeah, she's just chairperson now.
Yeah.
She's chilled.
But you know, they're still working hard for their money. You can't be 94 million rich dog and you've been there since 1976. You're famous and everything, but you still bust your balls. Now I don't think that's the right way of doing the business. Personally, I don't believe in that. I believe in
the point of getting into business anyway. I mean,
it's freedom.
Yeah, financial freedom.
Yes.
Live.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do in life.
If you did not work for the next 1 year, you would still be profitable. Now, with the Golding family, they can't afford that. If they stop working for a year, the entire company will collapse. Same goes for the Trump family. Everybody's gonna lose faith. The entire thing will go down. But if Bill Gates decides tomorrow, no one cares.
He's already
running around. There's
some Ballmer guy. What's his name? Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
The CEO.
He's running around with charities.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates running around charities and he's talking cool stuff about
Polio.
He wants to invest in the disease or whatever.
Yeah, cool stuff. Like I listened to him the other time. I was like, is this Bill Gates? I couldn't connect with him.
It doesn't talk technology. No,
doesn't.
It's off the.
I was so disappointed because I used to watch his speeches on Microsoft.com like a long time ago. These days I look for his speeches on YouTube. World hunger can be stopped. Polio. I'm like, what the hell is up with this guy?
And then him and the wife have got the strategy of how they're gonna end it.
Yeah,
for every household, for everyone. I'm thinking
education.
They've got a formula, and that's what they are putting their money into. Guys,
which is cool for them, but this is not, you know. I'm asking somebody's gonna talk my language, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? Nobody cares. Investors won't run away. No, because that was the whole that was the whole idea. That was the whole idea. I think financial freedom for me is important in terms of investment. If you invest in things, they bind you, and then the next thing you don't have an exit strategy.
He's still the world's second richest man.
After who?
What telecoms guy from Mexico.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's invested in some battery maker, Queen, or whatever it is, Energy Inc.
Battery technology is the future.
Yeah.
It's the future. But now I believe in nuclear energy as a future energy source.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do a battery, it better be running on nuclear technology. If it's not for me, I don't see anything that's gonna work going further into the future. If it's not nuclear, I don't. One way or another, you have to find a way of creating a nuclear reactor which is the size of this hard drive. Now, if I was asked for what would you invest in, if you had all the money of Bill Gates, I would invest in that. Miniaturizing a nuclear reactor. One way or another, I would do that.
Yeah, years ago, that thing would have been the size of this room in actuality.
Today.
Excuse me, computers, how big?
Oh, you mean a hard drive? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think even in terms of space travel, or in fact just generally, energy, it can be used. which is reliable, which can run for a very long time, you're gonna have to find a way of creating a small nuclear reactor which can release energy in a stable way for a slow, like let's say for example, if you wanted 60 volts, that can release 60 volts, like stable in a stable way.
Yeah.
For well, it's a nuclear. You know it's gonna release power for a very long. So once you created one nuclear source which is this size, then you fit it into a car. Let's say for example, that car's gonna run
For years,
for.
man.
Well, someone's gonna kill you because now you're just messing up the whole fuel thing now. So
But yeah, look, I know that, but unfortunately, it seems
that's why the Nissan Leaf is not going anywhere.
I'm happy that the Muslims are becoming even more radical, and the more radical they become, the more they want to boss around the world in terms of their oil. That it scares everybody. Everybody has to start rushing for batteries, and the United States is scared. America is scared.
Now there's this in the UK. There's a power plant that's being built where they're going to use fat, literally like oil from sewers.
From
They just go-
restaurants as well.
from restaurants. They just go collect oils and then they go and then
They make fuel
generate
from that,
and apparently it can light up an entire city.
Yeah.
It's interesting how they're gonna use the waste.
Used
The-
cooking oil.
They're most probably gonna have to connect it to the sewage system.
So America is
that's
kind of
the thing.
screwed in the ass now because now they are the Muslims, or should I say let's say Saudi
Islamic
Arabia.
countries.
Yes, they are the number one producers of oil, and America are the number one consumers of oil. And should these guys give them the finger, America is gone.
Yeah, well, America uses around. They said I think around 20% of Islamic oil. Some 10-20%. 20%. I can't remember the figure.
Yes.
The 80% they produce themselves in their own country.
Yeah, Texas is.
Oh yeah, Texas, yeah.
is a lot.
But if you were to cut off that 20%, the Americans is struggling. Funny thing.
Yeah.
Currently, they've got reserves, oil that they don't use, that they just store. Then they've got oil that and natural gas that they're taking out, and then they're using every day. Then to add on to that, all the rest of their needs, they need to import 20% plus minus from those guys. If they stopped importing, they're gonna be minus 20%, and they'll struggle. They'll have problems. The economy of the United States this time, just if you minus that 20% that is coming from the Arabian
Nigeria.
Yeah.
So.
I know all they check.
So energy, investing in energy is the future. Everybody's going crazy about energy today. Everybody's talking about bio oil. People are talking about
So these
all these. Now I will avoid. It's all about those.
Eskom is building what do you call it? A hydrogen power station in Durban. Yeah,
Now I see some of these things, and now ultimately they're gonna be a waste of time.
I think they're short term as well.
They're short term.
I feel like there's gonna be too much work for this thing to produce the energy that is needed.
That's gonna be needed in the future.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean,
they're gonna fall behind.
We're only gonna need. I mean, you can build your hydrogen station. It's fine. For the next 5 years, it's good. But now in the next 20 years, now will it be enough? Will it supply enough energy for our needs? No.
And one of the issue again, here's the issue. The issue is that everything is becoming electrified today. And because everything is being electrified, it's becoming electrified, it becomes pointless to come again now and produce biofuel. Biofuel, how they create it. They go to a farm, they harvest a whole lot of maize. Then maize which was supposed to be eaten, by the way. So if a farm is producing 100%, they take 20% of that maize that has been grown perfectly, they go burn it to produce bio oil, to produce biofuel. Huh? Women are going to say, whoa!
Yeah.
Biofuel, right? And that biofuel, the harvesting, the work, the burning, all that is taking too much time and energy, and at the end of the day, the value that you get is very little. So you still have a problem. We need powerful batteries. And batteries will only store energy up to a certain point. They come to a limited. The battery system simply won't work. It will be there to support, but it simply won't work. In the long term, you will need a mini nuclear reactor that's gonna produce energy
and push it.
Gonna literally produce it. You just have to put in your uranium, you seal it. Then it manufactures that. You don't need to recharge it. You don't need to do anything. And that's the problem about a battery. You need to recharge it. You see, with a mini nuclear reactor, you don't need to recharge it. All you need is to bring another batch of uranium, take out the depleted uranium, throw it away, insert the new one, offer it, leave it to work for the next 10 years. So that's what I'm saying, that the technology is obvious. I mean,
it goes back to the cooling. How are you going to cool it?
No, the cooling. It's all about how you use those kind of things. Let's say, for example, the heat that it produces. The heat that it produces, you can use that heat again. Do you know that? That in fact, it's not even that. The heat that it produces is actually the energy that it produces. Do you know that with a nuclear reactor, what we are harvesting is heat? Did you know that? Many people don't know that. The heat is actually the power that you are using. The heat.
Yeah.
Did you know that? How about a nuclear reactor? All it does is boil water, nothing else. A nuclear reactor, you're just putting in the uranium in there so the uranium can get hot. When the uranium gets hot, due to nuclear fusion, that heat boils water. That water pushes a dynamo, a generator, an electrical generator. That's all. Then electricity flows out. That's it. That nuclear reactor 101. It's the most basic thing you can ever imagine. It's the heat that is wanted. So if you could create a system that can produce that kind of heat reliably, and then produce that kind of power reliably, and run that electrical generator, you're done. You're done. I mean, it's the only way to the future, because batteries, they have limitations.
Yeah, hey. And if you use it, if you're on the laptop for 4 hours on the net, the battery goes even faster. Same with your phone as well. I mean, if you leave your phone alone and just read documents and whatever off your phone, it doesn't charge as much. As soon as you're on the net, tab to tab, site to site, downloading 1, 2, 3, and 2 hours later you check, it's gone.
Maybe this whole thing, nuclear reactors is too far in the future. I mean, it might be, but then what we say is that
the technology. Here's the thing: sometimes technology and all these things are withheld. Up until there's 3 people that get hold of it and one releases it, then stuff it. So it's there. They're just holding it. There's so many things they hold back on.
Exactly.
Up until this guy learns how to do it, and he's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna sell it. Then then they compete, and then the next guy copies, and then the prices drop, and then 10 years later, hey, this is not expensive. This is not as expensive. Just like the internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bandwidth, all these things. Now they are cheaper now.
True.
But back then it was like, wow, Vodacom just gave us this thing, and then MTN comes and M-Web and all these guys, and then woo, this thing is actually stupid.
You remind me of Apple when they released the first iPod. Everybody thought an MP3 player, what?
Yeah.
And space was like this expensive thing, like which is this impossible thing. And with the first iPod, they just broke all those rules. And then with every release after that, now everybody was running like after them. But it was basically because those guys decided that the technology is there, let's put it in the market. Whereas everyone wanted to play that game of 10 megabytes.
Yeah, exactly.
After 6 months, There's a new MP3 player with an extra 10 megabytes. I said, no, to hell with you guys. Here's 1 gig.
Here's 1 gig straight.
People are like, what?
It's also with memory cards. Even with phones, I mean, you buy a standard phone, a standard 2,000 Rand, 1.5,
Yeah.
fine, okay, cool. And then it says, no, can only take up to 2 gig. Why? You know, it's 2 gig memory, why can you, then you get another one, and it's a standard phone, and then it says, no, can take up to 16 gig.
Wow.
You know, onboard memory.
Imagine.
And you're thinking, you know what, stuff it. But you ask yourself, but why did they hold back on all these things?
Yeah.
The BlackBerry Curve came with Edge.
Yeah.
You know, the first ones that we all knew.
Yo.
The 3G technology was there.
It was there already.
Why couldn't they just, you know, throw in this
That was very disappointing.
Yeah, you see, exactly. That was like...
It's one of the reasons why I left it. I went back to Nokia. Because I was using Nokia. What game that? It's 110. What is that phone?
The orange one.
The one that Gina uses.
Oh.
E71.
Oh, I think I see.
That's
It's E7, yeah, business phone. Yeah.
They're quite...
You know, yeah, quite.
Yeah.
It's
E70,
It's just like
E70.
BlackBerry.
It's E70,
No, E70 is
There was
the one
E70, there was
the
E75,
one that
there was
flaps.
Is it?
E63.
Come on, man, which one?
there was-
No, man, E63 is the same style as
Yeah.
the E71.
Isn't it? Is
Yes.
E71 great?
E71 is quite, it's like this, straight again.
It's
3G.
like a BlackBerry.
It's-
The numbers are
It had a metallic back.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
thinking.
shining metallic back. You know that business phone? Yeah, Nokia. It had a metallic back. The E71.
Yeah, E71.
Yeah. The business phone with video call.
Yeah.
Video call. It had video call.
No,
Come on, man. That one with the metallic back.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
You know
And it was
that.
still on Symbian. Yeah.
And that thing had everything. Memory card, everything. 3G, video call. And that thing is old. Then comes BlackBerry Curve. No video call, no 3G. I said, what the hell? Are these people serious? I was using that E71 before I used it. I went back to it.
No, but it's actually, and then they come in, you know, but then they came and sold the internet to us.
But would you invest in technology stocks? Technology, good.
Me,
Yeah.
personally, I believe the future is in technology. So,
But you know,
if I had, you see,
Yeah.
okay, this is me. Let's just say 10 years into the future and I'm worth millions. Besides money, I'm gonna invest in technology that is gonna make a difference in whoever's lives. That's me. Technology. I'm up for it because it just changes things. It changes the way people do things. Changes the way people live. It changes. I'm gonna invest in that.
New culture.
You know.
Vincent, what if you were to invest in technology? What would you invest? Oh, you just don't know anything.
Technology.
Oh,
You
okay.
gave me a brilliant idea with that small nuclear reactor.
That's that thing.
If I can put that in a car and I never have to spend money on petrol again.
For 10 years.
For 10 years.
Here's this is just me sharing.
That's technology, I guess.
My you know, the thing is with me, I'm all about I like safety and all these things and stuff, but I also like it when a person is linked to something when they're at a different location. You know, if I'm linked to my car when I'm here, if I'm in my car and I'm able to do something on my phone or on my laptop, in my car and stuff like that. Like I'm all for that. I'm all for wireless technology, which is there, but then I would fund such projects. Couple of years back, I had this whole, if I could control my car's music on my phone, I mean, then I learned that, oh no, someone just came up with, I'm thinking, dude, if I had money, I would have done that anyway. You know, I have so many ideas and so many things I want to invest in.
And you've seen them just unfold.
Yeah, they unfold, and I feel like, but can't I at least get, you know,
something,
you know? But
it's tricky.
That's me. Sometimes I think of things and I see them a year later. I'm like, damn, great. you know.
Yeah.
But I'm a problem solver type of person. I've got that mentality, that mindset. So I see a problem, I think of how to fix it. Whether I can or not, to get someone to perform. But I'm
a challenge.
Problem solver straight.
CJ, what technology would you invest in?
Nanobites. I know, I'm fascinated by the
what is that?
Nanotechnology.
Yeah, nanotechnology.
Oh, but
Microscopic, mechanical little.
Microscopic robots.
Yeah.
oh no.
That can be controlled to do anything.
Oh yeah.
Can
So
you can use it on a,
Can inject it in your blood.
Yeah, you can inject in your blood. You can do anything with it. You can inject in your blood and it targets for example, you have cancer or targets HIV. You can program it to target and eliminate. So it's for me it's with nanobites you can enter the medical sector. You can enter.
But what is it? Is it like molecules? Is it chemistry? Is it electrical?
I haven't done a lot of research on it, but the concept behind it.
It's interesting.
I still need to go read more on it
Yeah.
and understand the concept behind it. But it's the mechanical things just created very good. Yeah, you can't see it with the naked eye. You have to see.
So how would you?
And it's in a gel type of they placed in a gel type of,
Okay.
So you can take it's liquid, you can inject it in you, and then the program uses the computer to target a specific. Let's say, for example, you have lung cancer, to go into your lungs and just target.
That
Specific
Because
area.
it's interesting. It's interesting how that technology actually works.
And there are people doing it actually now. Like the companies.
Actually, it's not a robot in the traditional sense of a robot.
Because
when you say robot,
I'm thinking.
okay.
That's what I'm asking you.
How do you build the robot?
Then it's a worm and.
It's more like actually nanotechnology is more like programmed bundles of molecules in certain cases.
Yeah.
Which are programmed to target specific things in the human body. Then when they're released, they only do that. Then after that, they either dismantle themselves.
So they die in the system.
So just like they just dismantle, they fall apart, and then they move from the system as if they were nothing. So it's basically, from what I've heard, it's a combination of molecules that you can build in a laboratory. Build them together. Build them. After building them, then you put them on a mission. Then they do the mission. Then after that, you're done. So it comes in many
forms.
It comes in many forms. Like one of the ladies that I had who you can use the nanotechnology to release medicines into your bloodstream at specific intervals. Let's say, for example, some people have come with that, especially when it comes to TB medication. There was a lady, I actually know this lady, and then she and her team, they came up with a strategy of releasing TB medication, so that when a patient comes and gets that medication, let's say for example, they just go away. They don't have to go home and take any more medication.
It's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. What?
Yeah.
No, the basic that it releases itself at specific intervals.
Wow.
So nanotechnology goes towards those kind of things, but it can also be used for many other things. Like for example, if you are traveling. Now, if let's say for example you were traveling in the North Pole, and then you came across this polar bear and it ripped you apart and took your clothes away, and then you're naked and you're running in the snow, then you're freezing, and then you're freezing so much, then if you had an injection of some nanotechnology shit that can, like protect your whole bloodstream from freezing, then you find that you'll be cold, but your blood is still flowing. You know,
Like,
and then
you
it
won't
protects
suffer,
you.
you won't suffer all those,
Yeah.
Then you can walk through the snow all the way naked. You know, for example. Yeah, you won't get hypothermia and all that stuff. You won't. Nanotechnology comes up with those kind of alien concepts that you see in the movies. You know.
Yeah, but the concept you see in the movies, guys,
Yeah.
those are things which are, in people's minds and
Yeah.
things which are being worked on. The iRobot we saw.
Exactly.
iRobot is not exactly, some crazy idea.
Yeah.
No. iRobot lives. That concept is alive somewhere. Someone has been building it. Yeah.
Like, I mean, cell phones, they were concept. We've all.
Google Glass was a concept.
Yeah.
It was on Dragon Ball Z. I still say it, and people think I'm crazy. Google Glass was that thing was on Vegeta.
Power reading thing.
Exactly. The roots and who's where and who's doing what.
Oh yeah.
That is Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z was created when again? Long ago.
Many years.
Technology which has been there sitting and waiting.
I used to love thinking, if you were to say to somebody in the year, let's say 1905, and you say to that person, what if I could talk to you and you are in another land far, far away and I could talk to you? I could communicate with you and tell you, to buy some things for me, and then, and you could hear my voice clearly in your head, in your head. Yeah, in your head, and you could talk to me, and we could talk, and there would be no wire between us, nothing connecting us. You'd be just there, and I could talk to you. People in those days would have thought, that's magic. Wow.
Yes,
But today we've got cell phones. And a cell phone is exactly that. And sometimes I think about how
we've got
powerful it is.
frequencies around us.
Yeah,
And we can
through
do
the air.
whatever. I'm talking to this guy on the phone, and if I put my hand in between, nothing is wrong.
He's in another land and you're talking to him. So, because
You have oceans.
remember the guy who discovered the frequencies in the air. Remember that he was put in hospital, in a mental hospital, because people thought his parents would be crazy. When he was telling them about the concept and how it works, and that he has discovered that you can actually communicate through the air. Like, his family put arranged to go to a mental.
There's a thin line between genius and insanity.
It depends on who's watching.
And it depends on your success.
Yeah.
Who's this? Einstein and all these guys are all geniuses because they were all crazy.
Crazy because when you look at them, you're like, this person.
That's what I'm saying.
But in his mind, he knew exactly what he was talking
They're
about.
all crazy.
Yeah.
They were all crazy.
Yes,
But their
they were all
success
crazy, yes.
and their breakthroughs
Yeah.
made them geniuses.
Geniuses, yes.
Yeah, if you don't succeed, then you.
But then, how do you, if let's say, for example, today, they were to say to you, okay, fine, look, here's an idea. Somebody just came up with an idea, and then they told you, you know what, this idea. Maybe the person who's bringing you the idea says, look, man, I know you've got money. Give me 1 million rands, or whatever. Invest with me in this idea. I've got this idea. It's never been done before, and I believe it's gonna be like the craziest thing ever. And you had money. How would you make the decision whether to invest or not?
Well,
What would be
first.
your criteria? How would you?
I'm not so much into. Well, I wouldn't be so much into. Paperwork and all this funny stuff. I think seeing something that works first is what I wanna. How would it work, and can I see something that looks like it that can work, or sketches or whatever?
So you would need some kind of proof to see that
this thing can actually work. Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, if it's a technological thing, get an expert, get a professional, get someone, whether if it has something to do with the internet or coding or a hardware or whatever, get an expert that is gonna try and translate this whole idea into, and try and make it, give it life, and okay, this is how we can possibly get this thing to work. And if what this guy says is in line with this idea, or if he says he's actually right, this thing can actually work. If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's like yes, then you add one. You know, I think from there I could say, okay, how much would we need to put together something small to get to see? I mean, if we're talking about a projector, this whole thing, I probably want to see a small version of how this would operate. Not the whole entire thingy as it's operating now, but
what if to do that you'd have to go through the actual putting together of.
But also, I mean, investment. I believe. I mean, getting into investing, relationships, partnerships, whatever. It all comes back down to the heart as well. You know, you cannot just invest because there's figures here. They could be wrong, they could be right. You could believe in them, you could not. But then at the end of the day, you gotta look into you and be like, okay, look at this person, look inside. Are you gonna make this leap or not? I mean, I believe in that.
So okay,
take everything, but again, look at who you are, look at this person, look at what they're saying, and then make that decision. You're gonna take the leap or not. But I'm into the prototype type of thing. I'm all for that. Paperwork and you can chill.
Vincent, how would you make that decision?
I watch a lot of these investment shows. There's one that I'm enjoying very much, Dragon's Den. And people come up with all sorts of things.
Dragon's what?
Dragon's Den.
Okay.
It's basically a British show where there's a panel of 5 millionaires. And you go into the den, that's the term. You go into the den with your business idea and you say, I need £250,000 and I'm willing to offer you 20% stake in my company. And then you share with them about your company and you tell them your sales, how you're doing in terms of sales.
Okay.
Basic things that investors would want to know. And then each dragon decides if they're willing or not to invest in the business.
Right.
But if it happens that you only get £250,000 collective and you wanted 280, then you lose the whole money. Then you leave with basically nothing. And what I've seen on that show is that the dragons mostly concentrate on 2 things. They concentrate on how the product is built, and 2, on the consumer, and perhaps most importantly for them, how will they personally be involved in trying to evolve not the product but to evolve the business model.
Okay.
Because some people are trained engineers and those things. So you ask them about a financial statement. Where does a person that has been trained in sciences begin to explain their financial statements with you? So for me, I think I'd use that sort of criteria. What I'd be able to, the kind of value I'd be able to add to the product, basically, and is there really a market for it? Because those Jeremy Clarkson, Top Gear, he came in there into the den. Not too sure if this was him being serious or fooling around with a car. Basically, the car is the world's smallest car.
Okay.
So it has the properties of a motorcycle, but it's a car with gears and a clutch and accelerator and all those things. But your hands are outside, and before he went to the den, he went to a car wash and he got his arms wet. You know, I mean, those sort of things, it's like, what's this person thinking? How can I work with such a person? And then you get people with brilliant business ideas that go into the den, but they believe so much in their products that from a business point of view, they are clouded. they don't realize the risks and the potential to fall, and they're not willing to take advice from anyone. No, it's my product, I developed it, I know everything
They're
about
not willing
it.
to open it
They're
up
not-
to
Basically, basically, they don't want any sort of criticism, so they
Mhm.
don't receive any sort of criticism. And on a personal level, if you are going to be investing and saying what value am I going to add to this business, you're also investing in the person that
Mhm.
you'll be working with and investing with.
Yeah.
So that would be a factor for me as well. The value I'd add to the product, and am I willing to work with the person
Okay.
in trying to grow the product and
So what if you found that? What if you found that?
Okay, where's this thing? Where can I see this? Good luck.
Dragon's Den plays 184. I think it's
It's a series.
BBC Knowledge.
Honestly, I want to download
I think try it on the internet.
Yeah.
It's Dragon's Den.
So what if you found that this person had a really great idea, but the person is not likable? Yeah. This is, because I can hear your model in terms of how you're approaching it.
But here's the thing, man. I'm dealing with a startup now. I'm at that stage where I need, right now I'm standing here talking to you guys and I'm thinking as an investor. But at the same time, I'm also looking for investment for my business. So I think I can see both sides, especially with the time we spent talking about this topic. You cannot invest in a person you think is probably, fine, your business model is good, your business idea is good, you probably have the paperwork, but your ignorance and greed, you will not see opportunities in life to actually expand the business that I'm investing in. Why must I invest in you then? Yes, in the short term, you're a good businessman, the idea is good, the paperwork is good, but does this mean that in the next 10 years, you'll be smart enough to notice that the world is all moving away from the desktop computing and moving to the mobile technology? And will you be smart enough and humble enough to accept defeat and say, you know what, we need to move away from this now and try to be mobile? You see, so for me, I wouldn't invest in such a person, or I would have to tell you straight, listen, it's either this or that. I'm either active or I'm gonna make this decision or this. Because if you look at Facebook now, I've been tracking them in this mobile shift of theirs. They were not a mobile company up until they increased their mobile profits by, I think, 38%. No, sorry, not even 38%, by 6%. It went up. It went up recently. These figures were out like last week. So Facebook is now officially, and is getting into being this mobile company. But now, if Mark was this stubborn guy and believed and still said no, Facebook still makes money from from desktop computing and all of that, we shouldn't be focusing too much on this. You see, now that would have been something, because now he noticed and saw that, okay, we need to shift now. I have to accept defeat and move away from 1, 2, 3. I read a story recently. His top engineers, right, came up to him and said, dude, our apps, our iPhone app, Android app, and I don't know what other platform, they suck. We need to redo the whole thing. They need to be more interactive. They need to be, all of this, all of that. And Mark didn't like what this guy had to say. I'll try to find the story. Mark hated what this guy had to say and he didn't like it. And he still signed on it and said, okay, let's go and make new apps. And Facebook iPhone app was the worst. It had, I think, 2 stars or 1 star or whatever. Up until that guy spoke to Mark and they changed everything around and started from scratch with the programming and everything. And then Facebook's rating only increased recently in the past 3 months or so, or whatever, I'm not sure. But you see, now he was able to accept. He was able to listen to one of his top engineers.
But it still has to be backed up by research.
But the thing is,
obviously, it's not going to be a question of somebody comes and says something, then you're like, I need.
On the Android market and on the iPhone store, I mean, your app has one star rating from its users.
True.
You know,
and that's the research.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. So he accepted defeat in 2011. They've been working on their mobile chip for the past 2 years. They only got it right this year. Well, late last year, I guess. But now and he's still gonna keep climbing. And they're gonna be raking in cash money from mobile advertising and all these things. So if you're gonna invest in a business, you're investing in this person because now you're gonna trust them to make decisions, right? You're gonna trust them to make decisions. So I don't care what anyone says. Personally, I wouldn't invest in someone I don't trust to make decisions and see opportunities straight.
If we go back to the first brief we had on business image, one of the first things we highlighted was if I see your site and your business card and everything is on point, and you now come there wearing khaki trousers and some random cowboy hat, it's hard for me to now differentiate between the business model and now you, the representative of this. Because how do I know that this contradiction is not some sort of front? Because you come in here, you sold me this brilliant idea, and now you come in here like this. It's like, is it a front? Is there potential? Is it real? Can it happen? And if a person is closed to a person from which they need money from the onset, they are closed. They believe in their product. It's their product. They developed it. It means that 15 years later, when the product's relevance is dead and gone and the patent is over, because patents last during normally that time, 15 to 20 years, then everyone starts copying it and then you have competition. But when are you still stuck in doing things your way, because you are the one that developed it and it's your method of doing things.
So
how much business sense does it make for me to get involved in that?
So you are also investing in the person.
I need to invest in
you need to invest in a really powerful person, in a powerful entrepreneur, so to say.
I need to,
as much as you invest in the idea,
I need to know that I'm going to get my return.
Is it?
I need to know.
That's another issue. Anything could happen, but I guess if you know that the person is of a certain caliber, strength of character, intelligence.
Exactly. I mean, if you are weak,
and all that.
If I can detect that you are weak, or you don't have that strong character. I mean, we all have our times where we feel like we are really down. Fine, but now, can I sit in you to actually stand up to me now and have that character and stand up to Microsoft should they come after you? I mean, there are guys with money. Intel could just turn around now and decide.
Or even solve daily, business problems.
Exactly. You deal with difficult clients. You have to, literally beg a guy to stay on board. You never know. But
okay.
now,
all right. Let's try and get to something here as well. Okay. CJ, when in your view, then how do you view investment? Before we actually deal with issues of liabilities and stuff, but for now, maybe we can conclude with you on this subject.
Look, for me, investment is just it's a risk. It's a risk that has to be taken in a sense, but then also the decision falls back to you. I mean, you know what you're looking for. I mean, if you have money, if I have my millions, and I know what I like, I'll invest in something that I like. I'll invest in something. Firstly, you can come with the plan, and you have that. If I can see from the plan, if I can see that this thing has a place, and then I go firstly, as an investor myself, I'm going to go do research on my own. Right? You tell me about this idea you have. If you have a medication that you want to develop and you want me to invest in it, you know, I study your ingredients, I learn about it, right? And I see how it's going to be accepted. And I go, because I'm an investor, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to go out and do market research, see how people are going to receive it. You know, look at how it's going to be sold. And then I get that my research is done, it's written down. I come and I compare it with you. Now see if we're on the same page. You know, if you want me to invest in your project, obviously you would have done a number of researches. You know, you'd go out and explore and discover and ask people. You know, if for example you're gonna create a toaster that works, you know, from the kitchen you just call it and it comes to where you are. You know, you go out. I have this idea, right? You go out on the public and then you start asking people, what would you buy a toaster that works to you? You know, would you buy it? Do you think it's a good idea?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah?
I could answer now.
Yeah. Would you buy it?
Well, since a toaster
It's wireless.
a toaster burns, and there's a toaster there by my place. You need to freaking open it once you see that light there.
Yeah.
So if this toaster can walk and come to me once it's ready and open up and stop burning my bread, then yes, probably.
You'd buy it, right?
Yes.
You see, you go out as an inventor. I go out and ask people.
But that's crazy though.
Yeah. Then I come there. Then I go to the potential investor. I'm like, look, this is my market research. I asked this many people. You know, out of 1,000 people I spoke to, 800 said they would buy this. So it's 80% out there. 80% of people out there would actually buy this.
Yeah.
You know, they see the importance behind it. You know, they see how they're going to benefit from it. Now, you as an investor, would you go out and buy a toaster walk? And maybe for me, you got me there.
Yeah.
My first question would be, is it going to burn my carpets?
Is it gonna have hot feet?
Yeah, is it going to have hot feet? Am I going to find feet all over my carpet? All over my Persian carpet?
Yeah.
No, and I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, you know, and then I go out and ask 1,000 other people, or hire someone, because I have the money. Obviously, I'm not gonna do it myself. Hire someone and then put someone in the field to go ask other people there, and then we bring our research together. Then we weigh the differences. We weigh them, and then I decide. Now it becomes a personal thing, right? I look at you as a person, and how you presented yourself, like you said, you know, how you approached me, the way you talk. You have to sell the idea to me. So the way you talk and the way you look is already, it has to be a priority to you.
Yeah.
Before you even think of the product you're going to present to me, the way you approach me.
You should first look like a person I can even hire in my company. First of all, you know, you look like a person I could, you know, you've got the drive to just conquer. You're just given a scenario and you could be like, give me the tools, let me fix this up now. As long as you are that means that any idea that falls onto your lap as that individual, you can give me the tools, let me fix it up. You've got that mentality. But if you don't have that mentality, any idea that falls into your lap, then it's gonna just, you know, fall unless it's established. But again, after 10 years, how will it be? You know? So
I'd also ask, like, if I'm going to invest in a project, the inventor, you know, must at least have a little bit of knowledge into business. Like a little bit, just a little.
Just
you must
something.
at least know, you know, that how to structure a business plan or how to put a presentation. Know something, you know, and you have to be able to sell. I mean, I'm sorry, you can be the best inventor in the world. I'm not going to do that job for you, you know. I like, sometimes there's certain things. I see myself as the kind of person that's going to be involved in a lot of projects in the near future. There's some projects where I would just like to be a silent partner and just say, you manage.
guys,
And if you don't have a business background, I'm not going to invest in it. Like if you don't know a little bit, if you can't sell a feather to me,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Sell a lighter,
Yeah.
sell a freaking elastic band.
I'm not
Tell me
gonna
this thing does
invest.
wonders.
I'm not. Like, you need to know. You have to be. You have to be a genius in the field that you whatever you're going to do, and then come talk business with me.
Let me understand. By business, you don't really mean that the person must know that you debit bank and credit.
No. We can get an accountant for all those things.
No. When the CFO,
We can get
everyone-
we can get an accountant for all those things. But come to me and tell me, this is what I have, Credo. I want you to look. It does 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can do this and this and this.
If you come on board, this is
And I'm like,
benefits.
you must wow me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You must really wow me.
You must be excited about your own product.
I'm like Tommy Hilfiger. You know, I like that guy. I like the way he approaches, the way he does business. He's a designer, but the way he does business. You know,
yeah.
there was this show that was going on where he has this couple of designers. Yeah. You know, he emphasized on how much you should love your design before you even take it out there. You must be happy. You must sell it. It must be part of you.
You must grow when you talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise,
then I take the risk. If
guys, as much as you have all these people presenting ideas to you and they want you to invest, I want us to define what are your responsibilities as an investor.
doesn't it come down to, okay,
Can we be able to say, okay, fine, as an investor, my responsibility, and because I hear a number of things, a number of expectations, some of the expectations from investors, but I think they excluded a number of people and a number of scenarios, and I can think of one typical scenario, which I think is linked to what you were just saying now. Or you've got this guy where I will pose this question to you, Credo. He does not know nothing about business. He's just got a brain product. Doesn't know nothing. He can't sell. He can't write a business proposal to save his life. All he knows is this product and how it works and how fantastic it is, and how whenever people see him eat, they're like so excited, and when he's talking to people, everybody wants it. That's all this guy knows. In that type of a situation, this guy knows nothing about how banks work, whether he doesn't even know how to bank money, for goodness sakes. Then, are you trying to tell me that when I as an investor right there, are you gonna say, idiot?
no.
And so I'm trying to understand what is it that you feel is your responsibility as an investor. Okay, Chisita talked about doing his own research as an investor, and then he's gonna come and match it up with this person's thing, research or whatever product. I find that interesting. I feel that is one of the responsibilities of an investor. That should be your responsibility.
You should also.
But then what does that mean to do that research? What does it mean? You're gonna hire specialists to go and do that research for you?
If I have the money, if I'm gonna invest a couple of millions into that,
you have money
why not invest in?
You don't have a choice. You have
you have to hire specialists. If I'm like
so then choosing the specialist to do the research is also one extra problem, isn't it? Because you might hire some.
But remember, earlier on I spoke of I also see myself I see myself investing into startup companies. I don't care about established companies. I care about companies that have ideas and that wanna, have ideas that are gonna change how people do things or whatever. So if I'm gonna have investments and I'm gonna be looking at property, I'm gonna be looking at 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have someone to manage all these things. And for you, I feel like for me to be an excellent investor or to invest in things which are going to bring me profits and all these things, I'm going to need to have a financial advisor, have someone that can actually tell that this is the right investment or whatever. Now, that's a person that's going to manage all of that. But now, if you want to come talk to me, I'm going to have my manager, and he will know whether to invest or not based on the research he's going to do, based on the idea that you're going to present. That's just going to be standard with me. So if you're gonna tell me about some nuclear battery, whatever, chances are he's gonna come back after a week and tell me whether it's worth investing in or not because of the research is done. He gets paid for it.
So basically, if this, let's say this, well, I don't know, what do you call him? This person of yours who...
The guy who manages my investment.
Okay, let's say one of your managers. Let's
Yeah.
say one of your managers. If this manager was screws up, basically, he just...
I'm gone.
Too bad.
I mean,
But
hey,
it's a risk.
yeah, it is a risk. I mean,
If it screws up and you still go and invest into the thingy, and then at the end of the day you don't get your return, it's a risk. It's just like going to the stock exchange and just plowing.
But that's the thing. It becomes a stock exchange.
yeah, but at the end of the day,
Wait. And there's no guarantee in investment. There's no.
There are no guarantees. Yeah,
There
there's
is no
no
guarantee. But I should be able to know. I should be able to have systems in place or systems that I can tap into to question whether my manager is lying to me or not. I can't just have something on my hip, lying to me every day, all day. And I
don't have one person doing the research.
exactly. That's why I say financial advisor. One is, does the research. But I mean, you have to trust your financial. Why have a team of partners or have a team? I mean, he's your financial advisor. You don't have a choice.
You need to have a plan B.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, if it's a completely new concept, now I'm into fashion and I'm into that sort of thing. If you give me a pill now and you say this is a new pill, it's going to sort out cancer or sugar diabetes,
Yeah.
and it's a total replacement for insulin and stuff. I know nothing about medicine.
Yeah.
And it goes back to my whole thing of what value am I going to add to that product? I have no training in medicine. At school I didn't do sciences, I did all commerce. My training is in accounting. What value am I going to
And
add?
you're not interested in medicine, Jay.
And I'm not really interested. I do watch medical detectives and I'm interested in
The
those
storyline.
things. I'm interested in the
Yeah.
storylines,
Yeah.
how the investigation was concluded. But other than that, I know nothing. And now here I am with my accounting background, not
Trying to
knowing,
invest in medicine.
not knowing all these things. And now the guy gave me a paper that says this pill of his has traces of morphine. Now everyone taking the pill, after 3 pills they're dead. And now here I am and I'm a major investor in that thing of yours. What does that do for my
Exactly.
for my portfolio? What does that do? Now here are all these people that are dead. I have to compensate their families, take their children through university because they're the sole breadwinner, and you have that on your conscience as well. The guy says, no, this guy who funded this thing, here's the paper I gave him. It says morphine. Me, I didn't know what morphine was. I'm thinking it's some herbal stuff that works for the advancement, but it turns out it's a poison. And now
So how do you protect yourself as an investor in that type of a situation? You see, that I guess that's what we are driving towards at the end of the day.
That's what I'm
a way
saying.
of protecting investments. You can't just...
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't buy the idea of having this manager who's on my side who is going to tell me, yes, boss, invest in that. No, boss, don't invest in that.
I need to at least know
all I say is, okay, if you say so, let's go. I don't think I can deal with that.
Okay, but
I would still need to be able to
here's the
have
thing. Again with me, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna invest in what is it that I really do not like. It's not like I'm gonna go. What?
No, he said he likes farming.
No, farming I like. Yeah,
Mining.
farming. I love that. I don't know.
We love mines. We love mines.
It's not like I'm gonna go, invest in jewelry maybe, jewelry making, whatever. Mining, yes, but then what happens after that? Freaking,
Okay.
I don't care. But like, I mean, obviously, if you're gonna, here's the thing now, here's the trick. If I'm gonna have a manager that's gonna manage my investments, I know I love these things I invested my money into. If I want to invest in property, I understand how property slightly works. I understand all these little small details. If I want to invest in medicine, I am interested in medicine. I like medicine. If I want to invest in sports, you're not going to tell me jack about sports now, you know? So you're going to manage things I know. That's me. I'm not going to.
So you're only going to invest in things that you are interested in.
Again,
that you are aware of.
Tech companies, startup companies, internet projects. What can you tell me about these things that I don't know? I know all these things.
Yeah.
You are just going to manage what I already know and going to give me feedback and reports on what's happening here and there. And I'm still going to see it for myself. I'm going to question what I see and still go out there and, you know, and talk to, you know, I get these things. I'm not going to invest in things I don't understand.
Okay.
No. Yeah, no.
Okay, and you know, the sad thing is that, you know, many people invest in things that they don't know anything about. In industries that they know nothing about, and you know there are people selling all kinds of investments, and then they say to you, invest in this, and then you invest in it, and you really don't know anything. You don't study that. You don't follow the trends in that industry. You don't. It's not in you. You're not into that, and you know. So some people approach it with that blanket or I'm investing, but investment is a word which is abused by many people on a daily basis for all sorts of reasons. So, sure.
I think it's better to put it in a sense. Most people that don't understand what, you know, who invest in what they don't know or what they don't have some sort of relationship with. Yeah. Most of them invest for the short term and they invest to get rich. I think most people invest to get a return. They don't invest for the long run. You know? But, I mean, take the people that all rush to go invest into this, spend money into this MTN thing. They were thinking, after 4 years we're getting paid.
Yeah, they were all thinking.
Most of them.
They weren't thinking.
I think the people that put too much money into it, the people that spend maybe millions buying those shares, they know that, okay, in the long run, it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
But the people that went and spent
so
1,000, 1,000,
get rich quick scheme.
Oh no, I just want to, they'll be paying me some maybe
quick money.
I think most people invest because of the greed and they want to get more money quickly. They think they're going to get money quickly, and
but that doesn't even work in business.
Yeah, so investment is
it only works in brokering, you know.
Yeah, the stuff
brokering.
In an hour, and then the next hour you
knocked another
500 million in your account.
Well, only there. Gambling. That's gambling.
Yeah, gambling straight. Yeah. Otherwise, no.
Even Lotto is even.
Lotto is one of those.
Overnight. It's at 8 o'clock you broke by 9:30. Hey, dude, yeah.
Would you invest in anything that has to do with gambling, casino, or what? Lotto.
I think I'd like to go into casino.
But you see the thing, I would invest in the casino business if it's within a bigger structure, like. If it's some
in a hotel
and all these things, entertainment and resort, I'd invest in all of it. But like to just come up to me and just bam, casino. I'm into linked things. You know, if you're gonna have a casino, have a hotel, have a resort, have a beach here, have
money from
all of. If you're not interested here, or if you get bored after an hour, you can walk out and do this here. You know.
Okay, guys, let's talk about liabilities. I think liabilities are something else altogether to conclude our talk. And my favorite liability is buying a house.
Awesome. Yeah.
My favorite liability is buying a house. And it's amazing how many people and they stay in that house. They think it's an investment. Many people buy houses, especially when they start working.
Buying a house is most people, with everybody, I guess.
A lot of people think that actually buying a house is an investment. Like, a house, and then they want to list it as one of their investments. And it's incredible how black people think that a car is And this is a business vehicle.
But in business, you list it as an asset.
Yeah, in
It is in business, but
not in general.
somebody's gonna go buy a 7 Series today
Yeah, I invested my money.
and then come and shine it in front of us like my investment car.
Investment.
It's amazing how this whole line of investment cars came into. People used to buy Porsches and Ferraris, investment, and then they used to be called investment cars in the past, like investment car. They, these expensive Maseratis, they are investment cars. They list them as investment cars. That's an investment car. I don't know. It's like I'm investing in that car, and this guy's got this. And they say that one of the biggest reasons why people are so confused about the fact that a car is not an investment, your house is not an investment, is because of the banks. The banks are the ones that actually created this entire confusion to start.
They created this whole entire system to just fuck everybody.
So how they did it is by saying to people, you want a loan. Put your house on the
line as surety. Yeah.
Then it became an investment, right? Kind of like a thing. And then for in the public's mind, it was like, if you have a house, it's an investment because then if you need something from the bank. But then actually, the house is only an asset to the bank. It's not your asset. It's not an asset to you. Immediately when you do business with the bank and then you list your house as
sure,
it's their asset.
Then it becomes their asset.
Yeah.
But it was never your asset even to begin with. it was still a liability from the get-go, from the day one when you bought that house. It was a liability. The fact that you stayed in it became a liability because a liability charges money. It does not make money. Then people come up with this excuse about no, but it appreciates. But no, people like to say that my house will appreciate because after 10 years, you sell it for a higher price.
400,000, then it will be 600.
But then if you sell it for a higher price, you're gonna have to move to another house. So what's for that money that you're gonna get?
And it's not like you're gonna move to a cheaper house. You're gonna want to move to a 1 million.
Something that looks like that, or something which is better than that.
That's 750,000 that you're gonna get. You're probably gonna still
unless you live in one room
and
just enjoy the profits from that.
I have this in terms of house. Let's say I understand that it's a liability, it charges money, and when you sell it and all that. But if, for example, I buy a stand, and I build my house on it, and in the process of living there, staying there, spending money on it, making sure it's renovated after a couple of years, I'm buying another stand somewhere and building. Immediately after building that, I sell. Probably, let's say I'm in Silver Lake, right, or in Waterkloof. I bought a nice stand on the mountain somewhere there. I built a nice house. The market value is at 6 million, and when I sell it, I sell it for 10 or 11 million. I mean, out of
that's a big jump, though.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just hypothetically.
Yeah, I doubt that you're gonna get it. And even if you were to get double that, I don't know what kind of a situation would that have been.
And people.
No. But here's the thing. If you build a house, building it is always cheaper.
Yeah.
Because now, if
spend less.
Here's the thing. If you build a house and it costs you 2 million, you can actually sell it for 5. The material and building it is always cheaper than buying it.
Yeah.
You can
actually sell it for 5.
You can actually sell. Even if you build a house of 300,000, you can sell it for 600,000.
Yeah, but then that's what a house developer does. These developers, they build houses and they sell them.
Yeah.
So basically, you would have to be in the business of developing. You have to be a developer rather than a casual.
But look at it like this.
I can be a casual 9 to 5 guy.
Exactly.
I'm living in Waterkloof.
You can be a what?
9 to 5
guy. Like I will go
you
to
work.
work.
You go to work, yeah.
And then I have a house in Waterkloof, right? And then
Buy a plot, bro.
I buy another plot somewhere, like I'm tired of Waterkloof, I want to move or I have to, and I build another house somewhere. And I leave that house, I go to the house I just built, it costed me less. But when I sell this, I'm going to make.
If you're gonna build a house for
I'm
2
gonna
million, if you're gonna build that, let's say you're a what? An engineer,
Probably.
you're earning what? $1 million per year?
Yeah.
Let's say, then you build a 2
You
million.
still have to eat.
Exactly. And how and don't think how just because now you finish building this house and it's brand new, you finished it. You still have debt on that house. That 2 million is not paid up. Remember, you were living all this time and you're living in the house.
Guys, okay.
If you're going on I'm more on the buying cash type of side, you know.
Let's think about it like this. Guys, let's think about it like this.
I'm
Let's
more on
think
the
about
buying
it. You
cash
can
side.
still listen. Let's just assume
Yeah.
he's a single, lonely guy. Doesn't
Well,
he doesn't have kids. You
Yeah.
know, he had a girlfriend
Yeah.
and broke his heart. So he's been single for the past 3 years. He's just working. He doesn't care about anything,
Just
right?
working.
So now he's got this house, and it's a 2-bedroom house.
Big.
You know, no, it's a two. You live alone.
Yeah.
3-bedroom house. You live alone. It's not big yard. It's fine. You know, you pay, I don't know, 10,000 rand a month maybe because
Yeah.
it's in Silver Lakes, whatever. And then you decide you have money to spend on other things because who are you looking
I want
after?
to get a second house.
You buy a plot, you build your house there. You see, you can afford to put money away to build and invest in this plot, one, and then in this house, and then
Okay, fine. You're gonna invest another 10 grand per month on the other side. Let's
you can afford to do that. Yeah, you can basically afford.
So that 10 grand per month that you're gonna invest on the other side, it's gonna be based on a loan
Loan
from the bank. You're not gonna you don't wanna buy a plot at 10,000 per month. There's no such thing. You buy cash, a plot.
Yeah.
So and if a plot is 500,000, if a plot is 500,000, they want 500,000. So you're gonna go to the bank, get 500,000, pay it, get the plot, then you pay the bank your 10,000. I don't know how much you pay them.
And when you're done paying off your bond,
If you're done, you see, and then how long is it gonna take you to pay off this house while you're building that? You see, they're both. Let's say they're both gonna be done in the next 10 years? I don't know. How a bond?
No,
10,
but
15
we
years.
need to think about
It's
this
a house.
again.
It's a house.
Guys,
Yeah.
we
10,
need to
15
think-
years. So you're spending 20 grand.
If you earn a lot of money and you don't
This is
really,
how much? This is how much?
okay, let's say you earn 190,000 a month.
Okay.
Right, I mean, we are talking about it.
There are people that
There are people that go and
I know.
change, you know.
I know.
So I mean, you earn that much and you don't really have a lot of things to pay for. You can afford to put away.
if you're
15K, just
Oh, you-
like that for 4
you're
years.
going to tenders.
You know,
10
exactly.
No, like seriously.
You scored a tender
4 years.
and you've got 3 million just to spend. You know, hey, you buy a plot, start building.
That's the problem.
For example,
with tender
let me
people.
just say one of
Next time they don't have machinery
one of
for
my
the next
uncles
10
here.
years.
One of my uncles is a professor at TUT, right?
Yeah.
I mean, TUT, how much do you pay a professor? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't pay them much. Like, it's like what?
It's good now.
40 grand.
30,
80, yeah, you know. But this guy is doing his tenders on the side. This guy, okay, he's kind of stupid. I'm sorry, but he's my uncle, but he's stupid. He went and bought the latest Range Rover, right? That was $1 million something. Yeah. He went and bought cash. After that, the Range Rover comes, he buys a VW GTI.
When did you say the million and the
These tenders,
Tender.
they come.
Oh, tender, oh, tender.
Tender.
Yeah. And then he goes and buys a plot worth 1 million. I don't even know how big this plot is. I've never seen Silver Lake worth 1 million.
$1 million rent plot.
I know how. According to him, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. It's $1 million, right? This is what he's
That would
telling.
have to be really huge. Eh?
This is
Yeah,
what
that has to
big
be
is $1
huge.
million.
Rent
This is what
plot.
he's telling. This is what he's
Yeah.
I
telling.
mean, I'm thinking 200,000, you know, plot. I'm thinking
This is what he's telling the
500,000
family.
rand.
This is what he's telling the family. Like,
That's a result.
yeah. And then he's like, he's gonna build a house, eh?
Build a house.
Yeah, he's gonna build a house.
On $1 million rent plot.
What the?
You know.
It's the result.
Is he building his own
Look
estate
at
to
guys
get
like
an
this.
estate?
Look at guys like him, right? I think buying a plot is a good idea. No matter how much it costs, right? It's a good idea. For me,
But
I see
you're not really
it
looking
as
forward to
an
selling.
investment. I Huh?
He's most probably looking forward to building the house, finishing it, and selling it.
Most likely.
On a million rand plot.
Because it doesn't seem like he wants to go stay there.
Does he want to stay on
I
the
doubt
million?
he has a house. A small house. But I don't know.
Maybe he
Like,
wants to stay there. But
Nah,
otherwise,
but you see now, if you look at him and you look at, I don't know how he lives his life, but you look at his job and you look at the house he has now and how he just spent his money, do you really think now there's a proper business logical
there
sense
isn't.
to what he did?
There's no-
It doesn't make sense.
There isn't.
You buy a Range, you live in a small house. He said that. I don't know. He lives in a smaller Nyana house.
It's a 2-bedroom house.
You go buy
Two
you
bedroom.
buy a Range Rover worth 1.3 million. You buy a
1.3 million
GTI.
rand.
You go buy a million rand plot.
To prove what to who?
The funny thing is now, like he doesn't have. He's an engineer. He's an electrical engineer. That's what he knows. He has no business background, right? That's why I think I was going back to the point of I wouldn't
Yeah.
invest in a person like
Yeah,
that. He has no business background, right? He gets money, spends it, and everything he spends it and he thinks is an investment. When he came, he was like, "Yo, I just invested. This is the car. This is the car." And I looked at him and I was like, "You know, after 4 years, 5 years, this guy's going to be at 700,000."
Dude.
You know,
It's probably going to be.
yeah,
And that's not an investment. You just
Yeah.
lost.
Range Rover is famous for losing value at a high
Very
speed.
quickly.
And
It's famous for that. That's why it became so easily available, because it was losing value too fast. That's why everybody's buying a Range Rover.
I mean, it's not like I don't know.
Here's my thing, and I'd say
I think we need to.
I somewhat
Yeah.
had his style of mentality a few years back. Then I watched Warren Buffett's documentary, and he's been driving the same car for the past 6-7 years. The first house he bought is the house he still lives in. All his children grew up in that house. And here's a guy with billions of dollars.
That's one stingy nigga.
When do you get one tender? No, but when do you get one tender? No, but let's move beyond that fact. Let's move that beyond that fact.
Mark was like that as well. You know, he still lived in his apartment and he was still chilled there. And he, when that story broke, he was worth, I don't know how much. You know, but Facebook at the time made like 8 million a day type of thing, you know. And that's a lot of money. Who makes 8 million a day, you know? But he still lived in his apartment.
Are clothes a liability or an asset?
Close.
Wow, dude.
There are clothes that are. Wait.
No, they are.
No,
I also believe there are clothes that are.
There are.
There are clothes that are. There are clothes that are an investment and there are clothes that are.
This is a liability.
Let's say what business.
I think this is an investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, dude, they're just those things. Hey? There's certain material.
Answer this, guys.
There are clothes that are assets, but not clothes. Accessories to clothes. If you
Clothes are accessories. Oh,
Okay.
Accessories.
If you think,
Yeah, they are.
if you think of
But you
of-
can
of
still
the half-
wear this. You see.
of the $500,000 dollar Rolex.
That's a
Yeah.
investment.
That's an investment. It's an investment. It's a Rolex.
Scratch proof.
Look, you can say
10 years. 10 years.
there's a lifetime.
How is
There's a
that?
lifetime guarantee.
Wait.
You're gonna die in
That
10 years.
asset has to make you money.
No.
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
If I have a Rolex watch,
An asset has to make you money.
if I have a
But you
Rolex
can
watch,
sell it.
if I bought it $500,000, and the day comes I'm flipping broken and bankrupt, I go sell it.
You can't
Oh,
sell it.
next one.
Let's not confuse this to this. One makes money, one charges money.
Okay, let's
Now, and Rolex on your wrist is not making you money.
It's not.
Okay, let's think of a
It's just
house.
hanging around. If you get broke,
At that time,
Let's think of a house you buy
at
cash.
that time,
No.
Keeping you on
No.
time.
So
your business needs.
let's think of a house you buy cash. You buy a house cash, right? You don't pay these monthly installments in these banks and whatever.
Yeah.
Probably they levy you or some dustbins or municipality, whatever. That's all you pay for. But I mean, does it make you money when you are in it?
No.
It doesn't. But you can still
That's
sell.
why the liability. That's why the liability.
point as well.
Does this go back to the watch and it being a liability as well now?
Yeah, but look.
Because you buy it, it doesn't make you money, but you
And
still in
remember-
your house, you use those to keep.
No, but remember that the more you wear it, the more it loses value. Don't think it's not losing value just because you wear it, because it's a Rolex. It is losing. Just like a Ferrari will lose value or anything.
But
It cannot. Its lifespan is still limited. It simply cannot live forever. The longer you've worn it, the cheaper it
But
gets.
no, so no, the house is a liability, but you can
Because
still
it
sell
costs
it.
money. Even a Rolex is a liability. You can't wear Rolex.
So let me get this straight. If you have a house and you rent it out, does it still make it a liability?
No, it becomes an asset now. Now you're in the business of
It's
property.
making money.
Now you're in the business of property.
So one decision just makes it and transforms it into.
So the idea at the end of the day is
So
to
wait,
find.
let me get
Yes.
this. In accounting terms, a house is considered an asset. Or property is considered an asset.
Properties, yes.
Is it because the business would normally use the business perhaps as its offices? If we own these offices and they're ours, that takes out the element of rent. Is that why it would be put as an asset?
It would
Instead of
if
it
you owned it. If you owned it, yes.
Yeah, if you owned
Yeah.
If you owned it and you actually manufacture within it, you actually conduct business within it, then
Business
it becomes an
within it.
asset.
Because it makes. So
Because it
then
makes money.
It makes money, yeah.
Occupying it
Makes
actually
you
put
get
money into
money,
it.
yeah.
But then if you occupy in your own house, the more you
Unless
close the
you
doors,
work on it, unless you
You
work
work in it.
at home, yeah,
Yes.
from home, yeah.
the more you stay in it, the
Oh,
more you
gosh.
touch the walls, the more you switch on the lights and switch them off, it's actually wearing down.
Yeah, no,
the more you open windows and close them, the more it's wearing down. Ultimately, it needs renovations. It's a waste of money. It's not a waste, but it's a liability.
Point on that one.
That's what I'm saying. It's just.
No, but you
I wish
still-
I'd asked this question while I was studying accounting.
but what about clothes? You still have an asset, but clothes issue. Alcohol taking asset or a liability.
Liability. They wear.
You outgrow them.
Those boots will not last
Yeah.
me till whenever.
You
They
outgrow
go-
You're not gonna do business naked, right?
Okay, since I.
Come on.
Come on.
That's why you don't want to go to a business meeting naked and say, no.
But you're right,
Because
because I'm investing in your look so that you can conduct business.
Then you can bring in money.
They're bringing
So
money.
technically, a Rolex can also be, because it's an accessory to what you're wearing, and if you wear
Exactly.
a Rolex, people will know that you have money. That
Besides it.
Well, that's your appointment.
I'm willing to invest in you, yeah.
That's your appointment.
But either way,
Your Rolex.
no. Okay, either way, there's still expensive watches besides Rolexes. There's a whole lot of watches.
Yeah.
But either way, and if you have a good-looking watch or an expensive watch, that says something about you. I mean, we know how it is.
No, but the thing is, my issue is that where do you use the watch? You see, you can wear a Rolex watch to parties, then you put it away. Well, when it's time for business, you don't even wear it. Then it's a liability.
But then it can be a liability as well, because if you come in all Kenekunena on me with your 2 Rolexes, I'm not going to take you seriously. Even if you're looking for investment. How does this work now? No, the other one is for New York. Are you in New York?
It's like business.
Are you in New York?
You can tell the business there.
Are you in New York? What is it? Are you in New York now?
So then it becomes liability for him.
Oh, okay.
Destroy his business instead of
Yeah.
bringing you money.
Yeah, well.
Also, if I'm going for an investment, and I'm wearing a suit and my tie,
Yeah.
so those
Two
clothes, no, one watch, standard. So those clothes become an asset because
Yes.
they're helping in
You create money.
generating an income for me.
So-
okay, yes.
So then it became a tricky idea. Then I like your answer. Some clothes are assets, some are not.
Yeah.
That is how, I remember I was with my friends
Yes.
in 2010, and then we had money. I remember money came in. Boom. Then we're like, okay, fine, guys, it's time to buy clothes. Everybody get $1,000 to buy whatever they want to buy. This one, now I'm gonna buy Levi's. Now I'm gonna buy Adidas. Now I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy any of that cool stuff. I'm gonna buy myself pants, shirt, ties, because that's the shit I'm gonna use to make money. Those guys bought that stuff. They could never attend a single business meeting. Now, ever since I bought my
No,
first
he's right.
clothes,
Like for the past 6 months, for the past 6 to 8 months, I've been going through the transition as well.
Yeah.
Where I felt like, wait, I've got clothes. I've
Yeah.
got a lot of clothes.
but
You know, now I need to start investing in that look. now.
in the assets.
Yeah.
In the asset clothes.
Yes,
Asset
exactly.
clothes,
So
yeah.
I'm
It became a problem. It became a problem.
It's-
And that ever since, dude, ever since that day, my life changed. I remember I went to Woolworths, bought shoes, bought
Yeah,
pants,
hey.
bought 2 ties, 2 shirts. Then I came. I'm telling you, I was more empowered than all of them. When we're chilling at home, I don't have nice Adidas to chill in. It was cool for me. I didn't have a problem with that. Parties, I don't have nice stuff, but I knew business call. I can make appointments, go meet people, make money. I can bring money home. I look the part. When I get in there, they look at me like, I actually bring back money. Then with their cool stuff, sweaters, you couldn't all convince.
You
They couldn't convince people.
I mean, really, you wanna spend 1.5 on a shoe, and you're not even gonna go there and look presentable.
You know what Donald Trump said? Donald Trump said, do yourself a favor in your life. Get one good suit. Just only one good suit. That's all you need. One good suit. That's all. That's all you need. One good suit. For those moments when you need to go get money, that suit is your asset. That look is your asset.
Yeah.
You wear your suit, you go in there, you destroy, you come back.
Yeah,
You got your stuff.
it's a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
When you need that final,
Exactly.
knockout, then you just
Yeah.
get there and look the part.
Even hip hop artists these days,
They need
when they need to go, you see them, they'll be wearing suits.
Jay-Z.
I was surprised when
exactly.
I was surprised when
Everybody-
Adidas they created a suit.
Adidas created a suit.
I think it was Adidas.
It's-
Someone was wearing an Adidas suit. I think it was 50 cents back in those days. When they used to advertise it was, there was a suit. No, it was a Reebok, man. It was Reebok.
No,
I
but-
think-
I think he just had it especially made for him
Yeah,
because
they would.
because-
it was Reebok because
It was Reebok, yeah, it was just-
G-Unit sneakers.
They even made him a
and
suit.
stuff. Yeah,
that time when he was making big money. And I was like,
it's
okay.
making more now.
So ultimately, even hip hop artists, they know there's time for that. Then you need to dress for
Yeah,
that.
they fool us
Yeah.
and they throw us of course, and then they go
They
and
do the right thing.
And then Kwaito artists.
Going to artists.
they are only seeing the business
And it's
of
not like-
music
Now,
I'm
They're
now.
only seeing the business
Yeah.
of music now. They've been creating music and looking like the part.
Yeah.
But they're only getting into the business of music now.
It's
Understanding issues of distribution
And
and how that really
But
impacts.
Universal is deep now into those things. They can't really come in and it's too late. You should just slap them around so many times now. So
Yeah, they can't even get
it's gonna take them another 5 to 10 years to get it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your question, no, there aren't any. Quite a, no.
Guys,
Officially concluded that.